Hello and welcome back to Mudstomp Puzzles and Builds. Moving on today, I'm going to get started on this puzzle for my wife. I'm going to sort the pieces. I am really nervous about sorting this puzzle, basically because I'm not sure if it's going to have enough definition in it, in the sense of being able to differentiate everything. So I'm probably going to aim for white with the horse, probably this silvery stuff to the side and the background, and then there's going to be like her or something. I don't know. Probably try and get her skin and stuff in one pile, and then her dress in another, maybe, if it's differentiated enough. I don't know. So I'm going to get into sorting that. But this is the, I can't even read that. Burger, what is it? It's Silverline Fairies. It's a 750 piece. They're apparently large piece sizes. They don't actually look that large. Maybe a bit bigger than a Ravensburger, but yeah, I'll let you know. It's a 51 by 68 centimeter puzzle, which is 20 by 27 inches for our American viewers. It looks like it's Burasma or something, or Burasma. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up this company a bit more, to be honest. Jody Bergsma, maybe. Maybe that's the artist. I don't know. Anyway, it looks lovely. I'm really excited to have a go at it. Here's a full picture of it if you can see it from there. So we're going to get into that. So like I said, I'm going to get sorting with it and then I'll let you know how we go. See you.
Alright, so I've finally finished sorting these puzzle pieces, and one of the benefits of op-shop puzzling is you occasionally get an extra piece, not just missing pieces. So I'm chucking them in a pile to one day make something out of, I don't know. Anyway, so here we have all our edge pieces. Those were pretty easy to spot. I then had all these mostly white pieces, which initially I thought was horse pieces, but it turns out they're dress pieces. This is a signature that I didn't notice initially, but it's in the bottom here. So yeah, that's mostly dress pieces, it turns out, so that's good. It should be easy to sort of put together. We then have all these hair pieces here, so that's kind of been one of the distinctive factors, lots of dark mixed colours. Then we have face pieces, so these are just a slight pinkish tinge and stuff, so that's probably going to be the first thing I build off. And following that, I'll put the hair on it, I think. I then had all these pieces that have got greens all over them. So green was just a very distinctive piece that was only on a few things, so it was sort of an easy one to pick out, and hopefully it'll be easy to put together. So that'll be another early solve. And then we've got basically miscellaneous, which this was kind of frustrating. I thought this was going to be a little bit better off, but I put these three pieces to the side thinking there'd be a lot of dark greens, and that was it. So I've ended up putting them here. This started off being like blues, and it's ended up being sort of a light blue, aqua, through to darker blue, to really dark blue. And then we've got basically all of the miscellaneous, which has probably got some of these white pieces, but they sort of had enough not white that I'd put them over here instead and things like that. So that's going to be the final piece that I use for things. So anyway, that's the starting thing. I'm going to start building. I've got my black poster board that I'm going to build on. Unfortunately, the puzzle itself is slightly wider or longer, taller, however you want to put it, than this by like 4 centimeters. So I can't build the whole thing on this. So I'm just going to do bits and pieces to start with, and then we'll sort of transfer it off, I think. But anyway, so let's get started. Okay, so it's been 2 days of me being sick, and I just haven't had the consciousness to film properly. It's taken me slower and longer to do everything. But I've been plugging away, and this is where I've gotten to. It's basically gotten to a point where, well, I mean, honestly, like, obviously I did her first, and her arm and that, and her hand up here. And then I think I did the hair following that, mostly. And then started sort of filling in around these sort of streamery type things. And then gradually this bit over here I got done early as well. And then just gradually filling in all the white. And basically after 2 days of being sick and doing this very bit by bit, I finally decided to sort the pieces again by shape, because I need all the extra help I can get at the moment. Discerning piece type or discerning colors and patterns and textures is just not happening. So it's just, there's too much detail going on, and so now I need the extra help of the shapes to basically narrow down what I'm looking at and stuff. So I'm going to keep plugging away at this. So I may or may not film too much of it, but yeah, it's interesting, but it is getting difficult with this. It's just, there's so much happening. These were kind of the bits that were obvious because of different colorings, but all the rest of it is just sort of a mix of greens, blues, and whites, and lots of lines and lots of things. Like, yeah, I mean, you look at this and like these pieces here, there's not a lot, as much as they're all different, there's not a lot that stands out very easily as to why they're different. And particularly when you're picking against the picture, I'm kind of up to this point where it's like all these hair tendrils and things like that. There's nothing stands out individually. Even down here, like I've got that bit to go, but at the same time, it's green and blues and silvers, which matches all the edges up here. So yeah, and the butterfly or the fairy wings, I guess, and the horse area and the dress, it's all too similar. So anyway, that's where I'm up to. I'm going to keep plodding along and we'll see how we go. Okay, so we are finally finished. It's been a long journey, just because I've been sick, but it is quite a lovely puzzle. It's just had to be a lot of shape sorting, because at the end there's just so many lines and that going on. Looking at the pieces individually is hard to differentiate what's what, and yeah, on the whole of it, it was easy to shape sort. So anyway, it really didn't take me all that long. It's just, but for a 750 piece, it's a large puzzle. Pieces are a bit bigger than you would expect, as you can tell by this missing piece. They're quite large pieces, like, yeah, pretty reasonable sized pieces. But yeah, it was a job and a half. Anyway, I'll give you some more thoughts once I pack it up and whatnot, so to speak. All right, so we're finally finished. Please excuse the voice. Still got a bit of a rough cold going on. But
on the whole of it, the puzzle is finished. I've done this one for my wife. I'm planning on gluing it and that, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. Hopefully, I figured out a method. What it basically ended up being was I went to Bunnings, hardware store for those not in Australia, and this is like thermal cloth that you put over a garden bed during winter. And I've tried gluing some little puzzles. This is going to be the first big puzzle I'm going to try and glue with this. But basically, I just put a layer of PVA glue on, stick that down, put a layer of PVA glue over the top, and come morning, it's a little bit buckled as it dries out, and then I just flatten it by putting books on top of it. Those were for the little ones. For this bigger puzzle, I'm hoping it won't bend as much. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that, so I'll show you that in a sec. But thoughts on this puzzle. Largely speaking, it was a nice puzzle. There are a lot of parts that were pretty readily available to be done easily. The lady, her dress, most of the horse, the coloured ribbons, hairs, all quite easy. Edge was very easy. It was this last bit that I really had to sort of do the piece sorting, the mane and things like that. It was just too many details in an individual piece, and looking at all the pieces, they didn't stand out from each other enough. So yeah, on the whole of it, not too bad. The pieces stick together pretty well. I managed to pick up without damaging it too bad. I think...
So, just to show that not every pickup goes wonderfully, this one was a little bit loose on the corners. So, got a little bit of damage picking it up. So, we're just going to fix that very, very quickly. Get that one back in place. This one goes over here. That's all right for the most part. It's just this two pieces here that have come out. Just push that back down, put that back in place. There we go. Excuse the door in the background. This one's a little bit more worse for wear, but it's not the end of the world. All right, so let's have a look. See, that one's gonna go that way. Yep, and put that back over here. Nice and clean. That'll go there. Bit more in there. And that one there. So there we go. All good.
Definitely a sort of, they're reasonably thick pieces, but given the size of them, they're not that sticky together. But it's enough for a pickup. So, you know, that's a reasonable thing. And yeah, for a 750 piece, it probably took me about as long as a regular sort of 1,000 piece in some ways. Or an easy 1,000 piece, I guess you would say. But yeah, for the most part, that was pretty good. So that was, again, this is the, I can't even read it, Berg Star or something. It's the Silverline Fairies by Hadis de Plata, I'm guessing is the artist. So yeah, it's there's a lot of sort of foreign, like non-English language on here that I'm not really interpreting. So I think it's Jody Bergsma or something. Maybe that's the artist or the production person. I don't know. Yeah, because it says featuring the art of con la colaboración del arte de. So I'm guessing Jodie's the artist. Anyway, lovely thing. The silver does make it, like in some parts it makes it really lovely. In other parts it just makes it annoying. And particularly too, I didn't have a poster or anything for this. So this was the picture I was going off, which is slightly short on the edges. And then this little picture is the main one. And this little picture doesn't have the silver. So yeah, it was a lot of sort of... figuring out as I went, basically. But yeah, anyway, lovely puzzle. I'm going to continue along. I'm going to do my 1,500 piece next, I think. So look forward to that. Check out my next video coming up for that one. That will be the biggest puzzle I've done to date because I've only ever done up to 1,000 pieces. So 1,500 is my next goal. And then shortly after that, hopefully 2,000 and 3,000 are coming. So yeah, I'm doing little puzzles in between to break things up, basically, just to keep my interest. But yeah, it is school holidays at the moment, as you might know. I'm a teacher, and so I'm taking advantage of all the time I've got in the world. I do not, but anyway, getting a lot done. So if you've enjoyed this, despite it being a bit of an odd one because I was sick and I didn't film the same way I normally do, please leave a comment, leave a like, follow the channel, support me, help me keep growing, because I do want to one day maybe do this for a full-time thing. So this channel is going to become more of a yeah, it's sort of a puzzling and building thing, because I'm going to do you know, building block type things as well, like Legos and stuff. There's a mini construction thing coming up I'm going to do. You'll see when I get to it. But yeah, so basically it's puzzling, solving, building kind of stuff. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Catch you in the next one.